The final argument. Setting modern-day Georgia, USA, a small southern town still grappling with the ghosts of its past. Part I. The Spark. Manny Carter was born in Atlanta, Georgia, the daughter of civil rights activists who had marched alongside John Lewis. She grew up understanding both the burden and beauty of her heritage. She graduated top of her class at Harvard Law School and returned to her home state, determined to bring justice to communities that had long been overlooked despite offers from top law firms. Imani opened a modest legal clinic in a deeply segregated southern town called Redford. Her presence sparked admiration from some and deep resentment from others. Her younger brother, Elijah, a brilliant robotics student with dreams of working for NASA, is arrested one evening while walking home. He's accused of assaulting a white teenager, Jacob Dempsey, after a high school party. The alleged victim is the son of one of Redford's most influential families. Part II. The courtroom. The case is assigned to Judge Samuel Whitford, a man known for his harsh sentencing and racially biased rulings. In his 30 years on the bench, he had never ruled in favor of a black defendant in a serious criminal case. The courtroom becomes a battlefield of perception, legacy, and truth. Imani chooses to represent Elijah herself, knowing that no public defender would fight hard enough, and that few private attorneys would dare face Judge Whitford head on. Her community warns her. You can't beat a system built to break you, but Imani prepares not just a legal case, he prepares for war. Part I. The revelation. Throughout the trial, the prosecution parades witnesses, many of them classmates pressured by Jacob's father. Imani dismantles each testimony, one by one, revealing inconsistencies, alibis, and even security footage the sheriff's department had tried to bury then. She uncovers the real motive. Jacob had attacked Elijah in a racially charged altercation. Elijah never retaliated. Instead, he tried to leave. But the Dempseys needed a scapegoat to protect their son's college prospects. The courtroom goes quiet when Imani presents audio recordings, texts, and witness statements that paint a very different picture of the victim. Part IV. The turning point. Judge Whitford, clearly rattled, tries to suppress evidence. He issues rulings that test the boundaries of fairness. But Imani, fierce and unyielding, appeals every move. Eventually forcing media attention on the trial, public opinion shifts. Civil rights groups descend on Redford. The town's dirty secrets begin to leak. People who once whispered now shout on the final day of the trial. Imani gives a closing argument that becomes legendary, a fiery, eloquent, and deeply personal indictment, not just of injustice in this case, but of every generational lie that built Redford's system. You fear truth, not because it burns, she says, but because it exposes. You don't fear, my brother. You fear a world where your sons answer for what they do. Part V. Redemption and regret. The jury deliberates for a day. Elijah is acquitted on all charges. The courtroom erupts. Judge Whitford, silent and pale, retreats to his chambers. Weeks later, he resigns from the bench. In a rare televised interview, he speaks candidly. I watched a woman defend her brother with more courage than I've shown in my entire life. I thought I was upholding law, but I was upholding fear, and she made me see that. He disappears from public life. Epilogue. Imani becomes a national figure. She opens a civil rights firm that trains young lawyers from marginalized communities. Elijah goes on to work at NASA and later becomes a STEM advocate for underrepresented youth. Years later, Imani receives a letter with no return address. Inside is a handwritten note. You won more than a trial. You won my soul back. Thank you. SW. Imani places the letter in her office beside a quote from her father. Justice isn't about who's right. It's about who refuses to give up.